Hello, fellow traders. 'Tis I, the Rumpled One, coming to you on Thursday, March the 30th. The year's 2023. Let's talk trading. Indicators. These videos are for educational purposes only. Your results may differ from mine. I had a few different traders wanted me to go over some different indicators. So let's just go through the charts and then I can talk about some of the indicators that we're looking at. The dashboard, I think you guys have seen that enough times to know what that's all about. Nothing much on this chart. Okay, opening range. We've got the TRO 2019 first day indicator here. So it's the first day of the year, first day of the month, first day of the week. So that gives you the opening ranges, and you can see right here we basically touched the opening range for the week at today's low and then bounced up about 87 pips above that at the moment. Here we've got some GPSs that just tell you the position based on high, low, and open. That's the 2014. That's an old one. And then we've got the HL5 year to date that plots that. Okay, here we've got inside bar indicators, simply the inside bar plot. And once again, you take the breakout. So you can see we had an inside bar 7 days ago. And there was a couple of breakouts. We're above it. Monthly inside bar here at 124006. You can see where that one is. Once again, dashboard just showing the range. The buy zone, that's from a long time ago. TRO buy zone here. And basically, running frequency distributions, price has to range. It ranges from the open, and the daily high is usually higher than the open, and the daily low is usually lower than the open. And that was that's where the buy zone came from. And you can see here we kind of have a doji on this hour at the moment. And the rat zone. This is we've got two rat zones shown here. We've got the regular rat zone, which what happened was how I discovered that. If you haven't heard the story, I just happened to be looking at the pound daily chart. Let's see here, and I noticed these wicks were pretty big. As you can see here, there's some that are tiny, but for the most part, you've got usually one side or the other that's pretty big. And so I ran a frequency distribution on it to see how far it usually moves. And I noticed that on the pound, and this is, years ago, it was about 20 pips. So that was the original rat. So it's a 20 pip range from the current daily high and then from the current daily low. 20 pip. And that's what's highlighted in those colors. Now, on the then a few years ago, in fact, let's see, when was that? Indicator list 2020. I came up with the smart rat, and what that does is it basically has the frequency distribution built inside, and we're going to pick the 20% level. So actually, 20% from the bottom and 20% from the top. We picked that number, what that distance is, and we use that for the zone. And so you can see here, I think we're using 100 days in the smart rat. Let's see how many bars. Actually, we're doing 250. So out of the last 250 trading days, you can see that the smart rat for the red rat is just slightly below by about almost 2 pips and slightly above by almost 2 pips. So in other words, price has been moving off the high and off the low a little more than 20 pips. That's the sweet spot. So that's what the smart rat is all about. Pivot trading plan, that indicator, wrote that a while ago, and that's in the mother lode, the downloads. You can go out to Crestlick and download all those for free. Missed pivots and all of these are also included in the mother lode, the download. Wow, price doesn't want to drop below 75 for some strange reason. Maybe it's because I want it to and collect some money. Okay, we've got the scalper indicators and a bunch of the multimeters that I wrote in 2021. And they basically, once again, the dashboard configured for all the different methods that I like to trade. We've got the holo, we've got some spread dots. Wow, price just doesn't want to drop below the open here on this H1. We're almost at the end of the hour, so we'll see what happens. It was a nice breakout, actually, if we go back. A nice breakout of that daily high right here, and then it dropped down and then shot back up again. I don't know why it didn't take that long. I was trading, I just didn't. And then once again, just using TRO HL5 a couple of times here to put in the H4, previous H4 high low and previous daily. And that's basically, you can see the wicks on the high, the open, so that's the upper wick zone here. And then the low and the close, that's the lower wick zone from the previous day. Excuse me. And then we've got the sweet spots indicator here. Looking at M30. And that 80 is the previous H1 high right there. And now, oh, I got to change the color because that's really hard to see. On the sweet spots gold, I made a modification, and I'm going to have to, no, I'm sorry, not on sweet spots gold. On the 3-level ZZ semaphore, I made a modification on some of the logic that tells you which way to trade. And because I made an observation when I was working on the states, and you could probably see it here. If you see a 3-ball on the top with a bull candle, it's going to range before it drops. But if you see a 3-ball on the bottom with a bullish candle, it usually takes off, and vice versa. If you see a 3-ball on the top with a bearish candle, it usually comes down. And it's just one of those things I noticed when you should not trade against it. Of course, there's going to be differences. So right here you had a negative or a bearish candle, but then you can see prices moved up. You can, maybe if you can change the chart period, but you can see here there's also pretty much the same. Here we had a bull candle, it moved up, but here we had a bear candle, but it decided to range, hasn't moved down quite yet. And then let's see, on M30 we had a bearish candle, you can see it moved down and reversed. Here we've got a bull candle and we're waiting to see if that's going to reverse. Flip-flop boxes, we've been over those a few times. Dynamic support resistance trailing, I talked about that the other day with the trailing entry. And then the state and the change of state, I went over that in the price action state change video. In fact, I wrote another indicator called state, so you can see what the present state is versus the current state. So actually we're on M5 right now, and you can see here we've got an inside bar, but the last state change was to the downside. So those are the indicators. If there's something that you want me to go over, and these indicators, the state change indicators, will probably be coming out in probably the next batch sometime in April. I think I'll get a batch out I don't know if I'm going to do this. I'm going to test them out because I saw a couple of bugs in them that I had to fix, and then also I changed the logic to make it a little bit better internally. For if you're a programmer, you can probably appreciate that. So you can see here, price is just waffling here. It's ranging, and we'll just have to see which way it breaks. So, fellow traders, I really hope that helps. And let me know if you want me to do any more indicators or if you have questions, because it's not what you trade, it's how you trade it. So go out there and drain the banks. This is the Rumpled One, over and out.